seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good evening. Welcome to Sunday night. We're here again to talk about FPL. Game week 4 isn't quite finished yet. We still got the very exciting Everton versus Burnley match to come on Monday. So obviously there's a few Luka Dean owners, lots of Calvert-Lewin owners as well. I'm all out. I've got no players left. I've finished. Unfortunately, Rafinha and Bamford didn't get anything. Wasn't expecting anything, but obviously the red card really just kind of put that to bed, basically, any attack and returns. It's a bit annoying. I thought Bamford actually played all right at times, like some pretty good runs. But in terms of chances, he was poor. His touch was poor as well. So yeah, I'm all out. But I've had an okay week. I think if Calvert-Lewin blanks, great, but he probably won't. He's probably going to get a few points and tank that green arrow. But let's see what happens. We've got to talk about Antonio. He's suspended. Ronaldo, 2 goals. Lukaku, 2 goals. Salah, only 1 goal. So I know there's lots of knee-jerking going on, of course. There's a few wild cards being popped as well for Game Week 5, which I don't think is the worst time to play. Obviously, it's going to depend on your team. I'm probably not wild carding. I'm probably just going to make one transfer and just see what happens next week, really. I'm kind of winging it a little bit at the moment. I don't know when I'm going to use it. Even Game Week 7, 8, I might not use it if I don't need it. So we'll see how it goes. Liverpool missed so many chances. Yeah, I know. They still scored 3 goals, to be fair, right? So they did fine. But they did miss quite a few. Diogo Jota, pretty unfortunate not to get any points today. I feel, as a non-owner, I feel extremely fortunate that Jota didn't get any points. Because he definitely could have. Want to sell Antonio before the price drop. If you got, by the way, maybe you didn't, but if you got Antonio from Game Week 1, the price drop doesn't affect you at all. Other than Wilson, who's good options? I think it's Bamford. I think Bamford's probably the one, to be honest. Unless you got the money to go to like Ronaldo or someone. Mara's replacements and Willem Buemo score. I mean, eventually he'll score. I don't know when. I'm sure he'll get some kind of points at some point. Mara's replacements, I'll probably go to Rafinha. I think Leeds looking good for now. What did I finish on? So I'm on 74 with a 4-point hit. So my total is 70 points. My game week rank and my overall rank are obviously 9 not final because Everton versus Burnley is going to happen. I've got no players there. But all the bonus points are in. So Trent got his 3 bonus. Obviously, Ronaldo was my top scoring player, I think, which is nice to captain your top scoring player. So pretty happy. Antonio will drop twice. Yeah, possibly. But I'm not going to worry about it just yet, to be honest. I want to at least see what happens tomorrow. I would be tempted to get Calvert-Lewin, but I just can't afford it. I've even thought about getting rid of Benrahma for a hit for like Sarr or Traore, but I'm 0.1 million off. So I need Calvert-Lewin to drop, and unfortunately, he's not going to drop. He's on minus 75%, so he's close. But if he gets any kind of points tomorrow, those sales will be halted. So I don't think I'm going to get a drop on Calvert-Lewin. So I don't think I can go for him. Plus, he's quite... I might just go to Jimenez, to be honest. His fixtures are just so good. Just have a bit of faith that he's going to turn it around and start scoring some goals. He's having a lot of shots, but they're not high-quality shots, really. I mean, obviously, the other side of the coin is just to not sell Antonio, which is possible. Like, if I look at my team for next week... I mean, obviously, a Robertson injury would be kind of handy, but Veltman, I could just play 4-4-2 and just bench Antonio because the fixture. I mean, I know people are starting to like talk about Europe and stuff, but like none of us were thinking about getting rid of him until this injury, which is fine. Obviously, you have to react to new information. I totally get that, but Leeds, Brentford, Everton are pretty good fixtures. And Moyes already said he was going to manage him, so would he have even played the Europa League games? Annoyingly, we'll never know now. Well, we won't know now straight away. The other thing I've thought about doing is selling Veltman to someone like Marçal, who looks to be getting forward quite a lot. Obviously, the 2 assists helped with that decision as well. A bit knee-jerky, but the fixtures are good, right? We already knew that Wolves' fixtures were good. And just play him instead. But I'm right now, and I might change my mind by the end of the week... Right now, I'm tempted just to get Jimenez. I can do it in one move. I keep my 3-4-3 formation. I get a player in with lots and lots of good fixtures. Should be on penalties. And the rest of the team looks mostly fine. I would like to have shipped Benrahma, but I guess I can hold him for one more week and then rethink it. So I'm not sure yet. Antonio to Jimenez is my kind of favourite move right now. But yes, to answer everyone's question, if I didn't have Bamford, I would get Bamford in. I wouldn't worry about what's happened so far this season. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 returns in 4. I mean, it's not awful. He has played Man United and Liverpool, remember? So in the easier fixtures, he's got points. So Newcastle, good. West Ham's tricky enough, but it's at home at least. Then Watford, Southampton, Wolves, Norwich. I mean, this is a good fixture run. Obviously, I like him. That's why otherwise I wouldn't have bought him in. Although I would have probably bought Calvert-Lewin first, but like, it is what it is. If anything, I'm happy with Greenwood, but if I'd bought Torres in, I could have just gone straight to Calvert-Lewin, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to ride Greenwood out until he starts getting benched, to be honest. Got a bit fortunate with his assist, but there we go. Friday, Newcastle Friday night. Yeah, triple Leeds on Friday night for me. Wildcard, do you predict the Holy Trinity, Ronaldo... Lukaku, Ronaldo and Salah took me over. I haven't changed my viewpoint the whole time. I still, like, everyone was knee-jerking after Lukaku scored 2 goals. Well, now we have to go for all 3, but I don't know how you do it without getting rid of Trent. And why do we want to get rid of Trent? I just don't see it. Like, you're not going to captain Lukaku against Spurs. You're not going to captain him against Man City. He can just wait until you want to sell Ronaldo. And then people kind of say to me, you're not going to want to sell Ronaldo, but you have to make these calls. And if Lukaku's fixtures are better, then I will sell Ronaldo. It's as simple as that. The mic sounds kind of funny. No one else is giving me any feedback. And usually, as soon as the sound is off, people give me feedback straight away. So I'm going to assume it's not an issue. So if I was wildcard, I probably wouldn't have Salah, Ronaldo, and Lukaku. We could have a look in a minute about how... I just don't see how you do it, right? So let's say Lukaku out... sorry, not Lukaku out. Lukaku in, of course. By the way, right, Villa should have probably scored against Chelsea, and Lukaku scored 2 goals from 2 shots. That's all he had in the whole game was 2 shots against Villa, right? Who we thought he was going to smash. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's a bad option. I'm not saying he's fortunate to have his goals. They were 2 brilliant finishes, especially the second one. I really liked it. But he just had 2 shots, 2 goals, you know? Salah's not that far behind him in points. Ronaldo matched him anyway. I just don't know if you need... I just don't know if you need all 3. So you've got to make up 3.6 million from somewhere. And people are talking about going 4-4-2, but I still feel like the mid-price forwards are just so good. Bamford, Calvert-Lewin, Jimenez, Antonio. We can't just write Antonio off just because he's benched this week. So a lot of people looking at 4-4-2. I just don't like it. I haven't even looked at it, and I already know I don't like it. Don't worry about who this player is, this Scarlet guy. How do you even work it? You've already got Greenwood. Even if you went like Torres, for example, I'm just thinking about this on the fly, right? You kind of want this guy to be. Oh no, you're playing 4-4-2, aren't you? So you're having to get a 4-4-2 out of this. Like, I just don't know how you do it, like in any like decent way. Obviously Duffy's doing good, but he's not. Duffy might be an okay-ish short-term option, but I guess you go for like Marçal. And then you got 1.3 million. You could upgrade Simicast. I don't know. Downgrade Veltman to like a or Ailing, to be honest, or Ailing to like a Liveramento. And then you could just keep short, or you could get Rudiger. I mean, look, there's other changes you can make, right? We wouldn't have to keep Benrahma. You could just go for Traore, not Trincao, Traore. And again, look, you got four. I'm not going to spend ages looking at this, right? Let's just say Ailing's back, but you're playing a 4-4-2 with Traore, Torres. Like, what if Torres gets dropped? But he might be worth it. He could smash Southampton this week, and then you've got to play 4 of these every week just to get Lukaku and Ronaldo, and you can only captain one of them. And this week, Salah's the best captain. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sure there's a way to go 3-4-3 as well. But you've probably got to get rid of Trent, I assume. Yeah, you could go Trent down to, I don't know, Brandon Williams. I'm sure, by the way, I'm sure there's better combinations. I'm literally thinking about this on the fly. But 3-4-3 is okay, I guess. But why do people want rid of Trent? Like, he's averaging a ridiculous amount of points, and he's got Palace at home next, which is brilliant. Brentford's fine. Watford's good as well. And yes, okay, City and Man United are here, but Brighton's fine. I mean, like these, I don't know. He just feels like a long-term hold for me. I got no reason to get it up. To get rid of him, sorry. Dennis is 5.1, but like, what? For me, there's the big hitters: Lukaku, Ronaldo, De Bruyne, Salah. They're valuable when you're going to captain them, and when you got 3 big hitters. Like, for me, the captains are Salah this week. In game week 6, you can make a case for Salah against Brentford or Ronaldo against Villa. You're not going to captain Lukaku against Man City, right? That's a crazy call to captain Lukaku against Man City. Of course, he can score, but it's not a good fixture. So you're not captaining Lukaku against Man City. And then from game week 7, Lukaku's got great fixtures, and he rotates really nicely for captaincy with Salah. Like, if we look at the captaincy now, if I bring this up, Like, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I know people see Lukaku scoring, and obviously they want him. But yeah, game week 6, you could go for. It's quite small, isn't it? Let me make it a bit bigger. I'll change that back in a minute. So you got Ronaldo against Villa, or Salah versus Brentford. I will probably go for Ronaldo that week, but I'll see. I won't make that decision just yet. Game week 7 is Lukaku versus Southampton. You could go for Ronaldo against Everton. I think they're both okay. Most people will say that Lukaku's the better fixture. I don't think it's that much of a difference, really. So if you've got Ronaldo, you don't have to sell into Lukaku. I've said that lots. Game week 8, Liverpool versus Watford. Salah's fine for that. Chelsea versus Brentford. Lukaku's fine. You probably wouldn't captain Ronaldo. So you switch to Ronaldo to Lukaku. Game week 9, Salah plays Man United, so you just captain Lukaku against Norwich. Game week 10, Liverpool versus Brighton, you could just captain Salah. Chelsea got Newcastle away, you could captain Lukaku. But Man United play Spurs, you're just not going to captain Ronaldo in this run. And you don't need to tell me how good Ronaldo is, but he's not going to be a captain option that much in the future. So the idea that you need all 3, I just don't really buy into it, to be honest with you. I feel like you just lose out on so much value. Like putting Conor Gallagher in, yeah, okay, he looks great right now, but is he going to keep that up? Do we want to put all our faith in Conor Gallagher if you're wild carding? I don't know. I haven't missed any super chat. I think I need to like put a disclaimer somewhere. I'm not going to answer any super chats like instantly. I'm going through the last one, really. We're talking about wildcards here. Ronaldo, Lukaku and Salah. And a lot of people are thinking about this as well, so it's a good discussion. Like, put it in the chat now, how many of you are thinking of going with all 3 premiums? Didn't we all have 3 big hitters last season? Bruno, Salah, Kane. Yeah, but the difference was they weren't 12 plus million. I know Lukaku's 11.5. Like, what was Salah last year? He was 12, wasn't he? Salah was 12, I think. Yeah, Salah was 12 million last year. Bruno was 10.5. And Harry Kane was 11, I think. Like, one of the lowest prices he's had in a long time. Kane was 10.5. So Kane and Bruno were 10.5 and Salah was 12. So all 3 of that's 3.5 million difference to what they are this year. It's huge. It's massive. There's nothing to say that you can't have all 3 of them at some point in the future. But right now, team value is low and you make the rest of your team way too bad. You just do. And all it will take is for Bamford to score a goal and get an assist against Newcastle, and Calvert-Lewin to score 2 goals against Burnley, Jimenez to finally get off the score sheet, Antonio to not be suspended, and then everyone remembers that there's a lot of value forwards. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. So there you go. Look, that was a long time. The super chat said, talk me out of it. There you go. If I haven't talked you out of it there, just go with it. I've got triple Man United, Liverpool and West Ham. Feels like an issue for this week. Not sure whether to go Antonio to Jimenez or Sofao to a Wolves defender. West Ham's fixtures are pretty good after this. I feel like Sofao might be slightly... The thing is, Sofao's playing, so it makes it a lot harder to justify that when Antonio isn't, to be honest. So Antonio to Jimenez is okay transfer. Especially if you're going to wildcard soon. If you're not, then maybe keeping Antonio might be the better option. But I don't think it's an issue to have... Why is it an issue to have triple Liverpool? They've got Crystal Palace. At Man United, triple Man United against West Ham, it's not that bad. I mean, West Ham's going to be a much more difficult fixture than Newcastle at home was. Right? Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be expecting 4 goals, but I don't think it's that bad. West Ham don't have difficult fixtures. They got Leeds, Brentford. I would say that 4 of these next 5, Leeds, Brentford, Everton and Villa, are all good fixtures. Okay, they're away. It would be nicer if more of them were at home, but they're all good fixtures. And Spurs have just conceded 3 to Palace. Now, I know part of that was down to the red card, but Spurs have been conceding a lot of shots. That's why I wasn't too keen on Spurs' defence early on. I know they got 3 clean sheets, but they're conceding a lot of shots. So these fixtures aren't bad. Let's not forget how good Antonio is as well. Now, if you're looking at clean sheets, maybe these are a little bit more difficult. But from an attacking point of view, I think they're fine. Benrahma's a different issue altogether, though, because he came off early. Vlasic come on. I do worry about that moving forward. And obviously, you do have to take into account Europa League as well. We'll have to see what happens. But I don't think we need to start pretending that these are difficult fixtures. Like, they're not. To me, that's just a way to talk yourself into selling him. Like, I might sell him anyway, but not because I think those fixtures are bad, just because I want to get Jimenez in because he's going to play this week. That might be a bad decision. West Ham only have 2 really good games. Yeah, but how it's not very often that you're going to get like Brentford, Watford, Norwich, Newcastle in a row. Like Leeds, Brentford, Everton, and Villa are all perfectly fine in my opinion. I think Villa and Everton were both in the bottom 7, bottom 8 for fixtures and stuff like that. Stop saying that Everton is a good fixture, but If Everton's not a good fixture, what are you targeting? We can't just target, like I said, Norwich, Newcastle, Watford, Brentford. If you're looking at Everton saying it's a bad fixture, then I don't know what you're targeting. I really don't. Like Everton last year, defence was not that great. Now, maybe Benitez will have turned it around this year. Burnley's not really a good show of that, but they've conceded, obviously it was just 1 Southampton, 2 to Leeds, none to Brighton to be fair, but I think I haven't missed any super chats. I'm just going through them one by one. Is Everton a bad fixture for Cristiano Ronaldo or Michail Antonio? No. It's fine. Leeds looking like second season syndrome. No, I think it's too early to say that. Let's see what happens over this next few run of fixtures. I haven't missed the super chats. I'm going through them one by one. All right, just relax. I'm not gonna. I don't answer them straight away. Like I can't just boom answer one then on to the next one. Just relax. Do you fancy a clean sheet for Brighton this week? No, not really. Not really against Leicester. I think Leicester are just pretty good. Calvert-Lewin hat-trick against Burnley. I mean, Burnley's a good fixture, possibly. All I'm saying is with these fixtures, right, just to come back on the Antonio thing, like, we're not sure whether to go to Antonio, to Jimenez or whatever. Like, there's no way you'd look at this fixture run before the suspension and say that's bad. You're only telling yourself it's bad now because Antonio's suspended. Again, that doesn't mean that selling him is a bad choice, because I think a lot of people will go to Bamford, and I think that's perfectly fine. But don't start saying they're bad fixtures when you wouldn't have said that before. Am I worried about Leeds' defence? I am when they play like Man United and Liverpool. I'll play him against Newcastle, see what happens. If Callum Wilson's back, that makes it a little bit trickier for sure. Harvey, Billy Gilmore a punt for Game Week 5. I wouldn't expect many points for Billy Gilmore, no matter when he plays. Is Bamford worth a -4? Depends who you're selling. Possibly. Stop saying Burnley's a bad fixture. Burnley's not a bad fixture. I'm saying it's a great fixture. Dominic, triple captain Lukaku got me 39 points. Very nice. 66 points with Calvert-Lewin and Luka Dean to play. Decent. Already made a few changes. Ben Rama, Antonio, Reguilon out. Trent, Rafinha, Bamford in for a -8 hit. You've already done that. I don't hate it. I mean, you're bringing in 3 good players with 3 good fixtures. I don't know if you needed the hit, though. I feel like you could have maybe just done... You've also had loads of money in the bank. Like, loads of money in the bank. You've done it now. I mean, it looks fine. It looks okay. I don't know if I would have taken a -8, but you've done it, so you've been decisive. Harvey Barnes an option moving forward. He's an option. I wouldn't be rushing out to buy him, to be honest. Somesh, Antonio to Bamford or Antonio to Lukaku and Son to Sarr. I quite like the second one, to be honest. I mean, obviously it depends. Like, what would you do with the Son money if you downgrade him next week or something? Like, could you do something more interesting? But like, Antonio to Bamford's good, but get Lukaku in. But it is Spurs and Man City, so I don't see a rush. If it's for a hit, I'd probably just do the Antonio to Bamford if Son is fit. If not, you'll have to reassess. If you were buying this week, would it be Ronaldo or Lukaku? Ronaldo. I'm not going to change my opinion on this. So if you've watched the videos for the last few weeks, you'll be hearing the same thing. Ronaldo for the next 2 is better than Lukaku for the next 2, in my opinion. West Ham and Villa is better than Spurs and Man City. And then for Game Week 7, you could even keep Ronaldo if you had to against Everton rather than get Lukaku against Southampton. If you've got the spare transfer or the wild card, then great, but you don't have to. You don't have to make the move. Ruben, wildcarded with all 3 premiums. Sanchez, Trent, nice. Shaw, Marcel, Salah, Rafinha, Traore, Gray, Ronaldo, Lukaku, Edouard. 3-4-3. Happy days. Nice. It's not a bad attempt. But I feel like as soon as something goes wrong with like Traore or Gray, you're gonna sell one of Ronaldo, Lukaku anyway. But it's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. Edouard. I don't even know if I'm probably not pronouncing that right still. I need to look up exactly how you pronounce it. Obviously, he only came on for 12 minutes, so I'm not sure. Like, for me, he's got Liverpool, Brighton, Leicester, Arsenal in the next 4. I wouldn't be buying him. Do we even know if he's going to start? That's what will put me off, I think. I actually looked as well about getting rid of Antonio for Pookie, but there's just no one really interesting that I want to get that I can get to for Ben Rama. Like if I get Pookie in, 8.2 million to spend, but I just don't think there's a really interesting midfielder that I want. Torres maybe. Maybe I'm just trying too hard to get rid of Benrahma. I should probably just keep him, you know. Hwang Hee-chan. But it's the same thing. Like, he's coming off the bench. Is he going to start the next game? Maybe. But there's no guarantee of it. So I'm just not interested in these players right now. 27 minutes, 1 goal, happy days. If I knew he was going to start, or maybe if Jimenez was injured, then 5.5 million, he looks like a great option. But is he going to start? I don't know. So I just don't see a rush to go for him. No CR7 and no Lukaku. Double down really did overall rank bad. Was it that bad though? If you captain Salah, you're probably not that far behind. You didn't take a hit either, probably. Yeah, I like Wolves' defence, but I just don't want to make a defensive transfer, to be honest. If I was on a wild card, I probably would get a Wolves defender, and I said that last week anyway. Although I would have gone for Semedo, and Semedo would have frustrated me because he had a couple of good chances. You don't think that Pukki would start, really? I'm probably not going to go there anyway, to be honest. Paul Spencer, if Ronaldo bangs in game weeks 5 and 6, what are you going to do about Lukaku in game week 7? I've already said, like, I don't mind playing Ronaldo against Everton instead of Lukaku against Southampton. So I might just get rid of Ronaldo to Lukaku in game week 8. This is something that I always do. I'm not worried about what Ronaldo scores in the next 2. He could blank twice, he could score hat-tricks twice. I'm still going to look to get rid of him for Lukaku, but I don't need to worry about it until game week 8. Game week 7 would be nice, but if I've got something more interesting to do with a transfer, I'll just do that and I'll keep Ronaldo against Everton. And if Ronaldo against Everton is a differential, I'm all for it. Did a -8 last game week to get Marcel, Ronaldo, captain Jota in. Nice. Oh, Marcel, very nice. I have Son on a 4.5 million striker. Do I take the hit? I would wait for news on Son. I don't know if he's going to be back, though. And the problem is is it Chelsea? Yeah, it's Chelsea, isn't it? Then Arsenal. Then he's got some nice fixtures. But I think if you've got Son on a 4.5 million striker, then putting that money into the forward line is probably better, yeah. Invest in Crystal Palace players. I'm not really that interested. The fixtures aren't great, so I'm going to say no. I think Gallagher is an enabler, possibly, but I'm not massively worried right now. Jota out or wait for news later on in the week. Why would Jota be? Oh, he came off, didn't he? So I saw someone say he's got a knot, but I didn't see any journalists say that, so I don't know how true that is. So Jota's probably going to be fine. You definitely wait. We don't even know if Firmino's going to be back this week. Swap Lukaku to Ronaldo or bring in Bamford for Antonio. I think Bamford for Antonio. -4 for Rafinha instead of Benrahma. Is it worth a -4? I feel like that will get paid back, but maybe only over weeks rather than this week. I don't hate it, I'll be honest. I really am considering taking out Benrahma for a hit. I just don't think he's going to do anything against Man United. He's at home though, and I'm worried about his minutes as well. Not necessarily I'm not necessarily worried about him starting. I'm just worried about how many minutes he's going to get every game. If I know I'm going to wildcard, should I do it now? If you're 100% no, then yeah, there's no reason to wait. You might as well start trying to get some price rises and stuff. Thoughts on Sancho? I don't think he's played that well, to be honest, so far. I don't think he was that great against Newcastle either. I don't know. I got a bit frustrated with Man United in general, just not crossing it in early enough. Got Ronaldo in there. You don't want to just do that every time, but I just don't feel like they ever did it. He kept just running into trouble. I'm sure he'll come good. Like, he's a great player, but... And if we're talking about FPL, just not an option at all. Reguilon to Marcel. Yeah, possibly not a bad move. I don't think it's a move you have to make, though. Reguilon's got some nice fixtures coming up, but Marcel also does. So, yeah, if you need the money, then go for it. Anybody asking about captain if you've got... Yeah, there's no question about captaincy for me. Salah's the captain, Ronaldo's vice, and that won't change unless there's a Salah injury. Tony to St. Maximan. Tony to St. Maximan. Can I just tell you why that's so funny? Because in pre-season, official FPL put up a tweet or a link to an article from a guy called Chuck, and he said he wouldn't go for Tony because he's not proven. He'd go for someone like St. Maximin, and everybody on FPL Twitter just ripped into him for saying that. And since then, Tony's got 1 return. I think St. Maximin's got 3. Maybe is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3. So St. Maximin's still smashing. He's still absolutely smashing. What's his name? Tony. He's not really smashing it, but he has got 3 returns. I don't know if I would make that move, though, to be honest. Newcastle got okay fixtures, but I probably wouldn't do it. Tony's price looks like it's going out. He's got a bad 5 games coming up. Newcastle fixtures look better. Yeah, I don't hate it. I would possibly go to Pookie. I mean, whoever was in the chat just a minute ago saying Pookie might not start, let me know why. Is he just playing badly? Do you think he's playing so badly? Mesh 300L, thank you. George, Antonio Cavalier and Ronaldo just looks perfectly balanced. Yeah, I like it. Well, yeah, but Bamford's good too. But yeah, Ronaldo +2 mid-price is good. Greenwood to Jota plus Antonio to Bamford for -4 or just 1. I wouldn't do Greenwood to Jota, no. No, I think look, for me it ends up being out for a while, then Jota's going to be great, but I wouldn't get rid of Greenwood, I don't think. Hold Antonio long term, 1.3 in the back. Brownhill and Amarty on the bench. Rest of the team is very good. Prefer to hold wildcard as long as possible. Yeah. I don't think Antonio is a bad hold at all. If you've got the bench to play someone instead, then that's fine. Daniel, again on my wildcard, Sanchez to Ramsdale seems nailed. I don't know if we can say seems nailed after 1 start, but I would be surprised if Arteta starts chopping and changing the goalkeepers. I feel like it's a little bit of a risk to go for Ramsdale, but the fixtures are good. I don't hate it. I don't hate going for Ramsdale, but I feel like you are doing it with just a little bit of risk. A little bit of risk involved. You made the right choice going Greenwood over Torres. Possibly. But let's see what happens this week, because Torres has got a very good fixture. My main hope is that I get Greenwood all the way through to that Villa fixture and maybe Everton. If I do, then I'll be very happy that I went for him. Even if I did get a little bit lucky with the assist. You think our new signing, Josh Sargent, will start? Fair enough. Yeah, if I say I don't hate it, that means I kind of do really, but I don't want to put you off too much. I messed up getting Christensen in my wild card. Now moving into the next game, I have a bench of Sissoko, Livramento, Christensen. I mean, Christian might start the next game. You never know. With Antonio banned, one of them will have to play. Yeah, Christensen might be okay for you. And Nurag. You might not be too bad. Dylan, is Ings one for the future or should I cash in? I would cash in. I would cash in, I think. Calvert-Lewin or Bamford. Boom. Mateus, Tony and Antonio to Morpay and Edouard and Jimenez, or Tony and Torres out to Jimenez and a 6-man midfielder. It depends if you want to keep Antonio, doesn't it, really? Tony and Torres out to Jimenez. No, I wouldn't do Tony and Torres to Jimenez and a 6-man midfielder. I'd keep Torres. So I'd probably do the other one. Tony and Antonio. You could just do Tony. Do you need the Antonio money? I guess you probably do. Otherwise, I'd maybe just do... Yeah. You could just do Antonio to Jimenez and just leave Tony for 1 more week. Do hits count after the week count for head-to-head league? I think hits are taken off at the start of the week. They are in the normal game, so I assume it's the same for head-to-head. Same. Is it worth taking a -8 to get rid Jimenez, Antonio for Ronaldo and Enabler? We'll end up having Ronaldo, Lukaku. Nah, I don't think so. I think you'd be better off doing Antonio to Bamford for free and just having Jimenez and Bamford with Lukaku. I feel like if you've got Lukaku already, you've kind of made your decision on Ronaldo. Unless you want to captain Ronaldo in any of those weeks, in which case it's a bit different. Dominic, got a gut feeling to captain Trent this week. Have you maybe missed the boat? I mean, it's a great fixture to captain in Crystal Palace at home. But I think Salah's just too good this week. People overreacting for Torres. Man played 3 times 90 minutes, plus his Champions League. He'll come good this weekend. Yeah, I've even looked at possibly I've even wondered if I've made the mistake by getting Greenwood, but we'll see. What do you think about Smith Rowe? I'm not that interested in him, really. I didn't start at the weekend. I'm not saying that's going to be a constant thing that happens, but I just think there's always going to be rotation or potential rotation because of the amount of options that Arsenal have. I want to transfer Benrahma for an attacker who costs less than 6. Why don't I consider Pogba? But like, if I went for Pogba, who would I get rid of? You know, and I think he's been a bit lucky, a bit fortunate to have as many assists as he's got. I don't think he can sustain these returns at this crazy level. I want to transfer Benrahma out for an attacker who costs less than 6. I mean, yeah, I would even go probably for Odegaard ahead of Smith Rowe, unless any Arsenal fans think differently. Aubameyang's not important at all. Magnus Carlsen went for him because it's a good fixture this week, right? So that was fine. Todd Cantwell as a punt for the next 4 game weeks. Nah. Just straight up, no. If you're a wildcard, would you keep Shaw or Ben Rama? Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't keep Ben Rama. No, I would risk not even a risk, but I would just use the opportunity of a wildcard to go for someone different to Ben Rama. Luke Shaw, maybe, because I still think Man United's fixtures are okay. I know it's been frustrating with the clean sheets, but he's still at least got points in the last 3, if you can call bonus points. But yeah, there's got to be a clean sheet somewhere here, right? You're not going to want him long term, though. What I would say is, I think if it was a choice between either him or Rudiger, and not both, I'd probably go for Rudiger. Or maybe even Reece James. I meant Ben Rama out for 6 or less mid. Yeah, no, I know. That's why I said what I said. Antonio to Calvert-Lewin and Bamford, or bench Antonio, play Veltman, and then do Tony to Bamford. Yeah, it's a simple question. Like, do you want Antonio after this week? If you do, there's nothing wrong with benching him. Like, Tony to Bamford is fine. I know, it feels weird swapping a player when you've got another one that's definitely not playing. You could, like, someone in the chat, could we keep Antonio? You absolutely can keep Antonio. There's nothing wrong with doing that at all. Maybe we'll get a Simicast start versus Palace, as Robertson probably will play against Milan. The problem is, though, you're not going to know. Klopp's not going to tell you that Robertson's not playing. But if Simicast was playing, I'd almost certainly roll the transfer, I think. Or maybe take Ben Rama out and just bench Antonio. Because Simicast against Palace would be real nice. Real nice. Trincao top for shots on target, but subbed off at 63 minutes last game. Do you think he's a rotation risk? I think he's a minutes risk. He's a minutes risk. I said that on the deadline stream. I like the idea of him as an option, but 85, 83, now 69, now 62 minutes. Hwang obviously came on and scored as well for Wolves. They got Podence as well. Did Podence even come on? Yeah, he came on for 9 minutes as well. So they've just got options there. And Trincao being subbed off the last 2 does worry me a little bit. To the point where I wouldn't buy him. Bamford, Calvert-Lewin or Jimenez. I'm going to say Bamford is the best out of those from right now, from this week onwards. At least for a few weeks. Antonio Torres, Livramento to Pookie, Mount, James. Nah. I got to be honest, that sounds like an awful set of transfers when they got to play Spurs and Man City. David, is Palace really the great fixture you make it out? Yes. Like, again, like if you can't target Palace at home when you're Liverpool, one of the best attacks in the league, what fixtures can you ever go for, you know? Like, I said this last season a lot. You've just, like, too much is made out of defenses being good based on a couple of games. Like, you're talking about one of the best attacks, if not like top 2 attacks in the league, and a Crystal Palace side who were really poor last season. And I don't think it's way too early to say that Crystal Palace are rejuvenated now. They conceded 3 to Chelsea, 2 to West Ham. Okay, they kept a draw against Brentford, but Brentford aren't exactly scoring loads of goals. Like, if you can't have Salah as a great option versus Crystal Palace, then what are we even doing? Michael, thank you. Yeah, Spurs were really poor. I know I'm missing Son as well. Might have hurt them. And by the way, I think Liverpool are just looking really good again. I know we know they're good, but they are just looking really good. You should be interested for Palace games after Game Week 5. They're playing attacking. Yeah, I'm not... Like... No, do you know what? No, I'm not that interested in Crystal Palace at all. To be honest with you, Edouard might be fine, but then Bamford's great. Calvert-Lewin's great. Antonio's great. Jimenez is an okay option as well. I'm not... Conor Gallagher, fine, but who do I get rid of? Maybe Ben Rama, possibly. I mean, I could do Ben Rama to Gallagher, but I'm not in any rush to buy Conor Gallagher from Crystal Palace. Yeah, I don't know. I know they beat Spurs 3-0, but I'm not rushing out to get Crystal Palace players. Fabinho's back against Crystal Palace. That's not guaranteed. He might be, though. We'll have to wait for more news. Who would you pick out of Bamford and Rafinha? That's tricky because it depends who the other player is in the equation. But I would probably go for Rafinha just because he's cheaper and you've got lots of other good forwards. There's not too many good £6.5 million players. Daniel, nothing to add, just some pounds for your time. Thank you. Michael, would you take out Shaw for Rudiger after Game Week 7? Quite possibly, yeah. But again, if you got to Game Week 7 and you had to play Luke Shaw against Everton, yeah, okay, it's tricky. Calvert-Lewin could score, but it's at Old Trafford. It wouldn't be that bad to have to keep him if you had another transfer to make. You could just make the Shaw to Rudiger one the week after. But yeah, Shaw to Rudiger looks like a good option in Game Week 7. Dominic, Torres captain, nice differential, play safe with Salah. Thanks for the donations. Torres captain, yeah, it is a nice little differential. Let's see what happens in the Champions League this week. But I mean, Salah is the best. Salah's the standout captain this week, I think. No questions. Captain video is probably going to be quite short. Ayling might play centre-back. Yeah, possibly. Struijk, suspended. Not Cooper. Llorente injured again. They never got fit centre-backs at Leeds. They need to buy some more. Meshul, Marcel, Jota, Rafinha for Simicast, Mahrez, Buendia. Maybe, but let's wait and see what happens with Firmino. Yeah, I don't hate it as a bit of a structure and squad overhaul. But -8's tricky. So let's see what happens with Firmino. Like, if Firmino's possibly back this week, I don't know if there's such a rush to get Jota. So, Ronaldo Lukaku look like a goal a game player. Pretty fixture-proof. I would disagree. Like, how can we... I don't know how we can say that, right? Like, I know it's tricky because Chelsea played Liverpool with 10 men. I don't think we can just say they're fixture-proof. Arsenal were really bad. They had loads of players missing. Chelsea just outplayed them. Then he blanks, and then he scores 2 goals from 2 shots against a relatively weak defence. So I don't know if I don't agree with fixture-proof at all. Really, even for Ronaldo, right? Yes, of course, these players are great. They can score against anyone, but just like anyone, their chance of scoring against tougher teams is reduced. It just is. So I don't see him as fixture-proof. And even so, you can only captain one. And let's not forget about Mo Salah as well, you know? What do you think about building a 4-4-2? Now, I tried building a 4-4-2 earlier. It was ugly. I didn't like it at all. Maybe I built it wrong, but yeah. Headley, what do you think is the best option? Antonio to Jimenez -4 for Torres, Antonio to Rafinha, Calvert-Lewin. I wouldn't take Torres out for a -4. Benrahma, Antonio to Traore, Bamford is nice though. You could bank the transfer and go 4-5-1 if your bench is good. I don't hate that at all. Like, if you want Antonio long term, that is the move, you know. Would you double up with Leeds midfield? Probably not. I just feel like Dan James is going to take minutes off of them, off of Harrison in particular. Not necessarily. I don't think Daniel James is going to start starting, but I don't think he's going to get minutes for Harrison in a lot of games. So I probably wouldn't double up on Leeds midfield right now. City defensive assets going a little under the radar. Yeah, because most people just don't want to pay $6 million for Diaz, and you can get Chelsea defenders cheaper, who are probably more attacking as well. But from Game Week 8, I'd definitely be looking at them. Bruno to Torres, so I can afford Tony to Lukaku. Again, don't hate it. Do you have to, like? I'd rather have Fernandes for the next 2 weeks. I think West Ham, then Villa instead of Spurs, Man City. Like, Bruno to Torres to get Tony to Lukaku is not an awful move, but Torres is quite good. But like, if I could have one of those combos going forward, it probably would be Lukaku and Torres. But there's nothing wrong with Bruno this week and next week. Keep Mount for the fixture swing, even though he didn't start. Yeah, Mason Mount's going to start mostly. That was probably like a international break thing, I guess. Yeah, if you had Antonio since game week 1, like since the start of the season, you won't lose any money if he drops in price tonight. Antonio for Bamford or Benrahma for Rafinha or both for a hit. I honestly, I quite like that hit. If I'm honest, I quite like the hit. Like we could all regret selling Antonio, Like, it would have been nice without the red card because we could have seen if Moyes... Because Moyes might be thinking, I'm just going to rest Antonio in Europa League games. But then he also might just want to flog him in the Europa League games. So it's hard to know. It's a shame about the red card, really. Because it would have been nice to see if he was going to bench him and then play him against Man United. Do you think that Mane can outscore Ronaldo in the next 2 weeks? He can, yeah. He could. Well, captain Salah for the next 2 floors, so I'm thinking Bruno to Mane. I don't hate that as a punt. I think it is a bit of a punt because Ronaldo is just Ronaldo, right? He just scores goals for fun. Mane is, like, even today, looked just a little bit suspect in front of goal. He did end up getting his goal though, and he is getting a lot of chances. And the next 2 fixtures for Liverpool are very good. So with that, like, if you're saving a hit, Mane could outscore Ronaldo in the next 2, but I know who I'd rather have, especially for Game Week 6. Ahmed, 13.7 in the bank, selling Iheanacho Dele for -4, best replacement combo. Okay, Jimenez and Sarr, Bamford and midfield of 5.8, or Rafinha and a forward less than 7.2. Probably Jimenez and Sarr, but I'd want one of the Leeds boys. There's not really any good forwards less than 7.2, is there? You'd have to go all the way down to Pookie, really. And Bamford and a mid for less than 5.8. Again, the options are just rubbish, like Gallagher and players like that. Realistically, it's probably Jimenez and Sarr, just because the combo of the league players are pretty poor. Alonso might be the best value for Chelsea defender. I cannot believe that Chilwell is going to keep missing games, this many games. And that's what's going to keep putting me off going for Alonso. Like, if we knew Alonso was nailed, he'd be in everyone's Game Week 1 team. Loz, the new Palace striker is firmly on my watch list. He was excellent. Bruno versus Ronnie looks tough now. Bruno looks like he's got a point to prove. Yeah, Ronaldo also scored 2 goals, so I'm not regretting that move at all. Yeah, nothing wrong with having these Crystal Palace players on watch list, but I think the idea of bringing him in soon, nah. Is it a good idea to swap Ronaldo and Lukaku during the season as their fixtures switch? I would say yes. Yeah, we'll see if it works. At some point, we might be able to afford all of them and still have a decent team. Sure, we'll play against Spurs and City, then be rotated. Yeah, let's see what happens. We'll ban for, I don't know who's rising in price tonight, to be honest. Ronaldo might do. It doesn't look like there's going to be that many rises. Maybe Gallagher. Antonio could drop. Buendia could drop. Tony could drop. Don't know if there's any other like big name players. And there's a lot of drops that could happen. Alonso had the captain's armband on even when Azpilicueta subbed on. Make of that what you will. Well, I saw someone say that he really should have just given it to Azpilicueta. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Chilwell might play in the Champions League, but I don't think it's going to be a case of Chilwell just plays Champions League games and Alonso plays all the Premier League games. Maybe I'll be wrong. Who will score more next game? Jimenez or Bamford? Probably Bamford. Honestly, I'm always wary about taking the hits, but I would be tempted by Bamford and Rafinha in for Antonio and Benrahma, yeah. One player suspended, one's playing Man United. Leeds got good fixtures. I would be tempted by it. Stephen, how's it going? I kept Fernandes and captain him, but have Ronaldo fear of missing out now. Would you take a hit to get Ronaldo in now or leave it? I'll captain Salah. I feel like I'd be less likely to do the move now if he didn't already do it, to be honest. The only problem is that Game Week 6 against Villa at home. So maybe you could do it then without the hit. Save the transfer this week, do it Game Week 6 without the hit, and then do Ronaldo to Lukaku in Game Week 7 or 8, possibly. Antonio to Calvert and Pookie for -4. Yeah, I don't hate that, but there's a few Norwich fans in the chat saying that he might not even start the next one, which makes me worry a little bit. Oh, change the description, okay. Boom, you're right. Thank you very much. I never even know if people look at that stuff. Would the three-headed beast of Ronaldo Salah be good and sustainable long term? Not in my opinion. I think there's better ways to set up your team. I talked about it earlier on quite in depth. I own Ings and I have other transfers prioritised. I own Ings. Ings looks decent enough against Everton, don't you think? Yeah, I think keeping him for Everton's fine. As I said earlier, Everton's not this fixture to be feared, in my opinion. Who do you plan to get in for Benrahma? I actually don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to take him out. I've just not really got much money to play with. So even if I took Antonio out for Jimenez, which I think is what I'm going to do, I could just keep him. I'm tempted to keep him. I don't know. Then I've only got 0.510, so I've got 6.7. You know who I can't get to? I can't get to Harvey Barnes. He's 6.8. I did think of that, though. I did think of Harvey Barnes. Don't know if he's close to dropping. Nah, not really. Just once you've got Rafinha, it's just not that many options. So I don't know. I might just keep him. What the hell? I mean, Sarr, possibly, Traore, but for a hit, I don't know. Don't know. Overall rank and score for Game Week 3 is wrong in FPL. Hopefully they'll fix it soon. Is the title wrong as well? You're telling me the title's wrong? Oh, it is wrong. It is wrong. That's obviously not affecting things too much. But I've changed it. Thank you for noticing. Thomas Lav, to any announcement for price shots, check out fplstatistics.co.uk. Boom, there you go. You're absolutely correct. That's what I would check. You'd plan to bring in Chilwell at this stage. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us would have, to be honest. Adam Armstrong, then you could get Torres. But Southampton's fixture this week's rubbish. Man City, then it's Wolves, and they got to play Chelsea. So they've literally got the two worst fixtures you could have from an attacking point of view. Like maybe if it was game week 8. So it could go for Pookie and then maybe move for Adam Armstrong afterwards. Watford, Everton, Burnley. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'll probably either keep Alonso. I'll probably keep Antonio or go to Jimenez, to be honest. Am I playing my wild card? I don't think so. I mean, realistically, apart from Antonio's suspension and Benrahma, I've not really got too many issues. Okay, look, if I was on wild card, I probably wouldn't be playing Ayling, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I am a bit tempted just to go for Sarr. But I just don't see Watford scoring too many goals, but he should be at the centre of it. I just think Norwich, Newcastle, Leeds, now that is a nice little fixture run. But then you're kind of stuck again in game week 8 about what to do with him. So I don't know. Would I take a -8 if the situation was right? But I wouldn't just do it for the hell of it, you know. Every week the same story. You will play your wild card again and again. Yeah, everyone's going to keep asking that till I've played it. I don't have any plans. I even thinking let's just quickly go through this, right? Let's say I bring Jimenez in. So Jimenez in. That's game week 5, right? Now let's pretend we're in game week... Oh, no, you can't really see it because you can't see the fixtures. But in game week 6, West Ham have got good fixtures, so I could keep Benrahma. I could make no transfers. Then game week 7, when Chelsea's fixtures are good, but so is Ronaldo's, I could just do Luke Shaw to Rudiger. That's game week 7. No, game week 8... Sorry, game week 6 I've made no transfer. Game week 7 I make 1. Game week 8 I've got 2 free transfers. So again, I can get Lukaku in. I got 1.5 to spend. And, like, what's wrong with that without a wild card? If Greenwood's still playing, Veltman and Ayling rotate quite nicely. At least for a little while. Although in game week 9 and 10, not so much maybe. Who do Leeds have in 9 and 10? Oh, yeah, Wolves and Norwich. So, okay, playing Leeds defender is not ideal, but I just don't know when I'm going to wild card. I really don't. I really got no idea. It's not a taser, it's a plug for a rubbish mobile phone I've got. A USB plug. Yeah, okay, it could be James. Don't worry about who the player is. I'm just giving an example. Yeah, of course, if people get injured, it's different. Antonio Benrahma to Jimenez, Rafinha, or Bamford, Traore. Jimenez, Rafinha, I think. Bamford and Rafinha if you can find the money, yeah. But not for a -8. Calvert and Antonio to Lukaku in Game Week 7. So I'll have CR7 and Antonio. Nice. I still don't like it particularly, but go for it. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to need a wild card. Like Leeds fixtures are just good for a while. So as long as they start scoring some goals for me, like you could keep them all the way up to Game Week 10. And then I could start removing them. And then maybe wild card them back in Game Week. No, maybe not actually. I don't know. But then again, like, I could just turn around and just decide I want a wild card next week, this week, whatever. Again, I'm not trying to like draw this out into some massive suspense. I just don't think I need a wild card, and I'm not really. I think people get a bit worried about when they're going to use it. I just don't worry about that, to be honest. Do give the stream a like, by the way, if you are enjoying it. Hit that subscribe button as well if you're new around here. Will I make any Champions League fantasy videos? No, don't think so. Do we get 2 cards or 1? You get 1 wild card before, like in the first half of the season, 1 wild card in the second. So far to Semedo from -4. Probably not, no. I just think he's always got attacking potential, right? So I probably wouldn't do it. Oh, my nose is itchy. Okay, I think I'm going to leave there. We've been going for nearly an hour. I think we've answered most stuff anyway. So for anyone that's watching it back, I don't want to give them anything more than an hour to watch. So thank you for tuning in. Do hit that like button if you did enjoy it. And obviously hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. I will be back tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a wildcard video again this week. And I've got a bunch of other stuff planned this week as well. Plus, obviously, mostly the normal stuff to come. So loads more content. We'll talk about Antonio a lot. Don't worry. We'll talk about wildcards and how I'm not doing mine. Missed a super chat. I didn't miss any super chats. Yeah, I'm not even going to go back through. I don't think I missed any. Price Shot, Adam Armstrong. Yeah. The one from Steven, the one from Femi, the one from George, I did. Tony Antonio to Pookie. Yeah, I did that one. New Palace. Yeah, I did them all. Right, anyway, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you. Why does everyone keep saying I missed Super Chat? What Super Chat did I miss? Tell me the question for the Super Chat I missed. 2 people have said I've missed one. I don't think I have. I think people think I missed them because I don't instantly answer them. Or maybe you're just trolling, I don't know. Alright, fair enough. Maybe they're just trolling. Fair enough. Even better then. I'll just stay live for a second. Alright, yeah, I got through them all. Happy days. Yeah, Champions League, everyone's going on about it. I'm not doing it. I just don't have enough knowledge about it. So I'm not going to pretend that I do. Which is a shame. My calf's good, but it's a bit. They always get a bit tight. Anyway, I'm off. Go and watch my video on my second channel, and I will catch you again soon.